What's better than a bratwurst on 4th of July, you might ask? Double wrapping it in jalapeno bacon. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button and hit that like button, as well as comment with what you're going to be cooking this 4th of July weekend. Like I said, we're cooking brats today, but not just any brats. We're going to be cooking these actually homemade brats from my local butcher, and they come out fantastic every single time. Super delicious, although any brat will do. But we're not just doing regular brats, we're doing bacon wrapped brats. And it's not just with any regular bacon, we're using jalapeno bacon. So we're talking about brats wrapped in jalapeno bacon. We're going to saute some onions on top of it. We're going to let it smoke with some cherry wood for about an hour, and it's going to be a phenomenal meal for your 4th of July cookout. So this is a really easy cook, actually. What we're going to be doing is taking these bratwursts, wrapping them in bacon, throwing them on the Joe. We're going to get some cherry smoke for about an hour. We're going to be cooking around the 250 degree mark, saute down some onions, and we're going to be putting it on a bun and enjoying it. So, you know, pretty low-key type cook, but it's super delicious and something you definitely got to give a try. So I got these really nice brats from the New York Butcher Shop here in Atlanta. If you're in the area, I definitely recommend you stopping by and checking them out. Pretty traditional bratwurst. We got this casing. It's pork, obviously, and we also it's actually made with Guinness, a little bit of Guinness beer in there. And they also made the bacon here. So nice traditional cut bacon, but it's also seasoned with jalapenos and a couple other different seasonings. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to take this bacon here and we're going to wrap it. We might single wrap it, we might double wrap it, depending on what it looks like and how much extra we have, but let's go ahead and wrap these things up and get on the grill. So I'm going to take a strand of bacon here. You don't have to get too fancy with this. Just wrap it, a little bit of overlap. That bacon's going to get nice and shrinked up on top of these things. Going to be really good. Yeah, looks like we're going to do too, for sure. So take a little bit more. See that fatty part of the bacon? I'm going to actually double wrap that a little bit with some meatier part, just so we can get some even consistency. We're going to continue bringing it around. And this, like I said, this bacon's going to stick, so we don't need to use any sort of toothpicks or anything like that. So again, don't need to get too fancy with it, but that looks good to me. It's going to cook up real nice. I'm going to go ahead and get these other two wrapped up. And I'll tell you, bacon makes everything better, right? I mean, we've got bacon cheeseburgers. People add bacon to mac and cheese. You know, pretty much anything they can get their hands on. So, figured why not? It's 4th of July. Let's go all out. It's a celebration time. Let's see how far we can push this bacon craze. Especially with jalapeno bacon. How can you go wrong? It's in your best interest. So, there we go. This came out pretty nice. And they're going to get wrapped in a bun and topped with onions in the end, so they don't need to look perfect, but I'm happy with that. The last thing we're going to do is I'm actually going to sprinkle a little bit of seasoning on them just so they can get a little red color. These things look really good. The last thing I'm going to do, you know, obviously we have some fat, we got a little bit of spice and everything. I want to add a little bit more spice, and I also want to add a little bit of sugar as well. So I'm using this Atlanta Grill Company Volcano Dust, and despite the name, it actually is a really well-balanced rub. It's got some sweet, it's got some heat, and I think it'll add some nice red color to the top of these as they smoke. So nothing crazy. I'm just talking like that. See that? Super light dusting just on this one side, just kind of on the presentation side, and that's it. So these things are ready to go on. We're gonna put some cherry smoke on right now and get these on the grates. So we're rolling super steady at 250 degrees. Last thing we're gonna do before we put these brats on, these bacon wrap brats on, is get some wood going. I'm using some cherry wood chips. We used these last week with the ribs. Probably would have chosen chunks if I had the option, but these will do just fine. And you know, we're not gonna over smoke them, but I just want a little cherry flavor. Get these things rolling. Awesome, so the wood chips have been going for a couple minutes now. We got that light smoke that I like, and I want to call this out. I'm using the Kick Ash basket as usual today, and I got all my coals on this one side here. This is my hot side, and I got the divider in there, and I got nothing over here. So we've got two grates going on the top here, the top portions, and what I'm going to be doing here is actually cooking the smoking the brats on this side here, and then when the time comes, I'm actually going to be sauteing the onions down on this side. I might move it down if needed, but we're going to be cooking these things indirect, and that Kick Ash basket definitely makes things a lot easier. Got a link in the description if you're interested. And then we're going to be putting these brats down, these bacon wrap brats. Looking nice. Going to get some good smoke on them, some good color. All that stuff's gonna cook down, that fat's gonna render. The brat's delicious as usual, but you know, this is just gonna make it even better. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave this here, maybe check back in about 30, 45 minutes, make sure it's coming along nice, and then get our onions going. Okay, it's been 30 minutes. We've been rolling steady here about 250 degrees, and right now I'm gonna get my onions on here. This is just onions with some olive oil and a little bit of garlic pepper or garlic powder because I had it nearby. Moved the grates down into the lower position above the fire, so I'm gonna throw these on here. Might toss them a little bit as we go along, but I'm really happy with how these brats have turned out, and let me see if I can carefully get one, show it to you. Yeah, you can see, coming along nice. See that bacon is, you know, like holding steady to the actual brat, getting some color, it's starting to render down a little bit, and we're about halfway there. These things are about like 120 or so. We're aiming for 160. It's going to do some carryover, but we're just going to let these roll. No need to really flip them, you know. They're smoking, you know, we're not really looking for grill marks, but we're going to let these go for another 30 minutes or so with those onions, and we're going to check back when they're around 160 degrees. Okay, these brats have been on for about an hour now, and just about 5 minutes ago I came on out here and just kept the lid open because the brats, they're up to temp, they're at 160 degrees, and the onions, I wanted to finish them off a little bit. So, you know, just shaking them around a little bit, making them look good, getting them down to where I want them to be, but they're looking really nice. You see that? That's just what I'm looking for here. You don't want them ultra, oh, we lost one. You don't want them ultra caramelized. That's just what I'm looking for right there. So, these things are good. Those will finish off here. These brats look beautiful. We're gonna get them on the cutting board, get them in some buns, get these onions topped, and then we're gonna eat them. Awesome, like I said, we're at 160, 165, and the brats are gonna carry over a little bit. 165 is the ideal range. So I'm happy, we're gonna pull these off. Starting off with the onions here. Really nice and golden and just looking fantastic. And then I got a couple plain old rolls just from the supermarket here, and we're gonna go ahead and get these bacon wrap brats in there. Okay, like I said, a couple plain white buns here, and we're gonna go ahead and put our bacon wrap brats right there in the middle. Beautiful. Nice and crispy. Starting to get that golden brown, nice and rendered. And last thing we gotta do, hit with some onions here. This is optional, but I like it. At this point, this is where you can get creative. You want some mustard. I'm probably gonna throw some mustard on this once we're done here. You want some ketchup if that's your thing for brats. Put some relish, maybe some giardiniera. Man, that's beautiful. That's all I need right there. Maybe a little bit of mustard, but that looks pretty perfect, right? Okay, these things look incredible. I'm a little bit nervous to take a bite of it, but I know that's part of it, but these things just came off, but I don't know, they look too good, right? Beautiful, nice, good onions. Get you that bacon, the jalapeno bacon with that bratwurst made with Guinness beer. You can't go wrong, right? Let's give it a try. Dude, man, that is spicy. That jalapeno bacon is no joke. That volcano dust, I feel like that creeped up on me. I tried this one time, I'm like, oh, it's sweet and spicy. That's got some heat, but you definitely taste the sugar, and it caramelized up nice on the top. That's a really good compliment, man. I like that. Onions are awesome. Bacon's perfectly cooked for me, you know, not ultra crispy. It's not like you're frying this up in the skillet for bacon and eggs. Stays around that bratwurst. Really complements it. Awesome flavor. Fits in the bun nice. That's just what I need. Just a little bit of mustard, and you're out to the races. Folks, this was an awesome cook. I'm gearing up for 4th of July. I'm figuring out what I'm going to be cooking for everyone. You better believe this is going to be on my list. I highly encourage you to try this out and, you know, make it a staple of your family barbecues, your events, everything like that. There'll be nothing better than be in the backyard, on the lake, in the pontoon boat, wherever you are, cooking these up. This is Americana right here in a roll. So definitely give it a shot. You know, if you like this video, please comment. Let me know what you thought of it. Let me know if you're going to try this, and what are some of your other 4th of July cooks. What's something that every single year you're making, because I want to hear about it. And as always, appreciate all the support, appreciate the likes, the comments, the subscriptions, and just staying engaged. And, you know, as always, this has been KamadoMax. Stay tuned till next week. Who knows what we're going to be cooking up, but if you have an idea, drop it in the comments. Until next week, thanks again.